Alright, how did you go implementing the behavior for the shopping carts clear method? Alright, let me show you my solution. Okay, so first we need a red or failing test. Okay, what test should we make this? Well, how about this? Fact public void given empty cart when call clear, then have empty cart. So to start with, really we should go ahead and try and call clear on an already empty cart. It is the simplest possible test, and then ensure that there are no items in the shopping cart and also that our total is 0. Those are our two criteria for verifying that the cart is actually empty. Alright, as usual, we need the cart, a cart instance, new shopping cart. Alright, and now we are calling the clear method on the cart. And what do we expect? Well, we expect there to be no items in the cart. So with regards to verification, cart.items should be empty. So there we go. That's a nice way of saying that there are no items. And cart.total should be 0. Nice. Those are our two criteria. Let's see how we go. Let's first actually assess whether or not we think that this test will already pass. Currently our clear method doesn't do anything. There was no behavior. So if we kind of come back to here, it doesn't do anything, right? There was nothing between the braces. And when we've got a new shopping cart instance, it is already empty. When we're clearing it, it should still be empty. So a clear method with no behavior should be just fine. So this test should already pass. And by the way, that's okay. It's okay for tests to already pass. That will happen from time to time. All right, that is what I think ought to happen. Let's see what actually does happen. All right, running all unit tests. Okay, all unit tests are passing. Fantastic. This is working out well. So we've written a test. It's immediately green. There's a little bit of refactoring I think we can do. I would like to extract these two verifications here, these two assertions, and extract them into a separate method. Extract method. Great, and I'm going to call that verify cart is empty. Nice. And this is not really the right place to have it. I'm going to move it down to these other verify methods. Maybe, you know what, I'm leaving it at the top here, because verifying that the cart is empty, which is the degenerate condition, is really one of the simplest and first validations we should actually carry out. So really it's at the top here. So given empty cart, when called clear, then have empty cart, we're getting our empty shopping cart, we're calling clear, and our verify cart is empty is being called. All right, let me run all the tests again, just to make sure everything is still A-okay. Okay, all tests are still passing. All right, let's move on to the next test. Fact public void given have one item in cart when call clear, then have empty cart. Given have one item in cart, when call clear, then have empty cart. That is nice. So once again, bar cart is equal to new shopping cart. We will always need a shopping cart. Okay, and cart dot add. Yes, and let's add something in here. Say apple 7. Brilliant. And then we're calling cart dot clear. And finally, we are asserting the cart is in fact empty. Let's take advantage of our new helper method, verify cart is empty. So verify cart is empty. Cart. Nice. Alright, so let's run all the tests. Alright, we've got a failing test. That's down the bottom here. Expected cart items to be empty, but found some items in the cart. Well, that makes perfect sense. Clear doesn't do anything, so we would still have 7 apples in the cart. So we've got a red test. Let's make changes to clear. Alright, a really elegant way for us to implement the clear method on our shopping cart is to realize that our items collection is actually comprised of a list of shopping cart items. A list has got a clear method. So we should be able to just go ahead and say items.clear. So our shopping cart clear method in turn calls items.clear. This should do the trick. And the way to test this is by coming back to our unit tests and running them all. Alright, let's see what happens. Unit tests are running and they're all passing. Alright, that's looking really, really good. Let's do another forward-looking test where we're checking that our clear method works for pretty much any number of items in the shopping cart. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the one item unit test, create a copy of it, and say have many items in cart. Given have many items in cart, when call clear, then have empty cart. Yep, that'll work. I'm going to come along and just copy the cart.add line a few times. Apple 7. Yep, that works. And maybe banana 13. And last but not least, cantaloupe. And maybe we'll make that 29. Okay, great. So we're adding a bunch of apples, bananas, and cantaloupes, and then when we're calling clear on the cart, we should see an empty cart. We've got our verify cart is empty. Assertion, helper method, that will help us. Alright, this looks really good. Let's run all the tests and see what happens. All of our tests are passing, including the have many items in our cart. This is looking really good. Alright. Let's just say the clear method works on our shopping cart, and let's move on to our next task. See you shortly.